Aging is automatic. Growth is intentional. Most people assume that growing older automatically means growing wiser. But if you look closely, that isn't always true. Time passes whether we evolve or not. Years can go by, and someone may still react the same way to stress, repeat the same relationship patterns, avoid the same responsibilities, or make the same excuses, just with more polished language to justify it. Growth is not measured in birthdays. It's measured in awareness. A person who hasn't truly grown might say, "That's just how I am," or "People always do this to me," without realizing they are repeating a cycle. Over time, their explanations become more convincing, even intellectual. They may blame circumstances, past experiences, or other people, but the behavior stays the same. The pattern remains untouched. Real growth begins when someone pauses and honestly examines those patterns. For example, imagine someone who constantly ends up in unhealthy relationships. Without growth, they might say, "I just have bad luck with people." But growth asks a deeper question. Why do I keep choosing the same type of person? What am I ignoring or tolerating? That level of self-reflection is uncomfortable, but it's also where change begins. Or consider someone who reacts with anger whenever they feel criticized. Without growth, they might defend it. "I just don't let people disrespect me." But growth looks closer. Is this really disrespect? Or is it my fear of being wrong? Why does this trigger me so strongly? When they begin to understand the root, they gain the power to respond differently. That's the key. Growth is not just noticing the pattern. It's choosing differently despite how familiar the old behavior feels. And that's rare. It's rare because it requires humility, the willingness to admit, maybe I'm part of the problem. It requires courage, the strength to face discomfort instead of avoiding it. And it requires consistency, choosing a new response again and again until it becomes natural. But here's the powerful truth. This kind of growth is available to anyone. You don't need a perfect past. You don't need special talent. You don't even need to have everything figured out. All you need is the willingness to be honest with yourself and the discipline to act on that honesty. A person who grows might still feel anger, but they learn a pause before reacting. They might still feel fear, but they stop letting it make their decisions. They might still fall, but they don't fall the same way twice. That is what separates someone who simply ages from someone who truly evolves. In the end, growth is a choice made in small, quiet moments. The moment you stop yourself from repeating an old reaction. The moment you take responsibility instead of blaming. The moment you choose discomfort over denial. Those moments may not look dramatic, but over time, they reshape your entire life. Because real growth isn't about becoming someone completely new. It's about becoming aware enough to stop being who you were on autopilot and intentional enough to become who you're capable of being.